already kicked
Well,
the bucket.
well, we kind of you kick you kicked the bucket.
I already kicked the bucket. You're still
I already
going.
kicked the.
Oh my gosh. Well, hello there, Daryl. Are you on the line?
I'm on the line. I'm on point, and I am ready to do podcast number 7.
Oh, is this 7? Okay. Well, I don't have that many fingers, so now I'm having to use toes, and so
Yeah, please don't
that's a
do
total
that.
joke, actually.
Yeah, please don't tell people you're messing with your toes.
Okay. Oh, okay. I won't. Oh my gosh. Anyway, well, here we are. Yeah, 2 guys, 2 states. I love it that we get going every so often, and maybe not as often as we want, and then maybe it's just the perfect amount and perfect timing, and that's what we're trusting is happening on these calls, and which you and I get together and we talk and laugh and make memories and just hit it out of the ballpark. Or maybe that was a
Yeah.
different episode.
Bringing up the past.
Oh, the baseball, America's pastime,
That's right.
which is actually
No, that
happening again. They're down. They're already
is
people are already doing
amazing.
spring training.
Pitchers and catchers have already started.
Uh,
It's good. It's
it
good.
is
Got to keep the
good.
sports realm around, but you know,
Yes.
but I'm glad. I'm glad we're back doing it. We took a little bit of a break because we get busy and the weather gets involved and life gets involved. It's all good, you know.
Yes, sir.
Get a little entertainment out there for people to listen to. I mean, it seems like
Yeah.
everybody's doing it.
I know. I did. I think I told you I talked to a guy that does a lot of podcast stuff, and then he also, knows many people in the biz, so to speak. But a lot of his connections are people making money because they do, they get endorsements and sponsors. And I really like what we're up to of just a couple of guys talking through life, different topics, kind of funny, kind of crazy, maybe even informational. We may even have things that people could use in their everyday life. And hopefully that's relatable for people. And they can just say, hey, I relate to that. I also am a parent, or I also like ice cream, or I also go to baseball games, or whatever. I think we're on point here. And many people getting out of podcasting as well is what this gentleman that I talked to had to say. He's like, yeah, I mean, there's just a bunch closing down. I mean, they just have not made it. But there again, if you're trying to make money, then no wonder. I don't know that it needs to be a money making deal.
Well,
Just
no,
my
I
opinion.
mean, right, and everybody's in it for different reasons.
Hmm.
Just like life, what tickles your fancy versus what talent do I have versus what are you doing and what do you like to do? And that's why we do this. I mean, even today's we're going to find out a lot more about each other because today's topic is bucket lists. And realistically, what is a bucket list? It's what we want to do and what we have an interest in before, our time is gone here on Earth.
Hmm. Hmm.
Technically, that's it in a nutshell. I mean, I guess I could just jump right into this, but the technical Webster's definition of a bucket list is a number of experiences or achievements that a person hopes to have or accomplish during their lifetime. There you go.
Yeah, perfect. That's great. Yeah, I mean, it kind of probably that's the founding of the term, that, hey, before I kick the bucket, let me finish these things or do these things or accomplish these things or travel or whatever it is. And we'll get
Yeah.
into it here. And I even saw some people have put lists out there. It's like, this is my bucket list for the summer. Or this is my bucket list for, just a certain period of time that, hey, by the end of September, I want to have already done this many things this year or seen these 4 places and done these things or whatever. It doesn't have to be just by the end of your life only, I guess.
No, well, I would hope not, because then you would actually make a memory somewhere along the way and be able to share it with, whoever's in your circle. I was listening to a guy named Jeff that we're not supposed to mention, but we were like,
It's only your first name, and we're good. Everybody's Jeff. Hi, Jeff.
but anyway, he
Jeff's
was
on the
telling
phone.
me of his Vietnam experiences. He was sharing
Uh-huh.
earlier today because I had some issues here with my water. He come over and we sat around afterwards. They're really interesting to sit down. Have you ever just sat down and talked to somebody who's been around a while? They have
Yes.
it just seems like they have a story for everything, and they're very interesting usually.
Well, I'm glad that's why you've joined me because I'm very interested. on this podcast.
Operator, this
Please
call has
connect.
been disconnected.
Oh, disconnect. Please connect me with
Yes.
Schenectady.
So,
Anyway,
yeah, right.
see what I did there?
Yes, I
Oh
did.
man, we laugh, we
It's
cry, we
yeah,
write
I just
poems.
keep we laugh, we cry, and Daryl keeps crying. But also too, the origin of bucket list gained popularity from a movie in 2007 called The Bucket List. Though the concept of a to-do list existed well before that movie, of course. You know, people want to do things. They really want to do things, and I think, I don't know, motivation is probably a big issue about whether you can get them done or
Mm-hmm.
not. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
obviously, there's probably going to be finances, especially in today's day and age. I mean, everything costs so much money. I got a little note here that I read somewhere online. I think it was a motivation. I can serve as a powerful moderator to live life more fully, overcome dullness or stagnation, and create excitement for the future. I
Wow.
mean, that's pretty good. I
Yes,
would
it
say
is.
is get out there and do some things.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of people, I think it's a common sense thing, but we want to do these things in our lifetime before we die. But is
Yeah.
it is it something that we have to press on because we know we're going to die? I mean, if you
Yeah.
have, unfortunately, we have a terminal illness, you want to, how are you going to live? Are you going to jump out of an airplane because you've got cancer and you want to do it?
Yeah.
And what I mean by parachute, I don't mean like,
You mean have a parachute, not jump out
yeah,
without a parachute.
yes,
And just
exactly.
trust the process. Just trust the breeze to carry you. Oh, that's not a good idea.
Whee!
Not good. And we're not
No.
recommending that to the listeners at home either. So, where was my great grandfather or even my grandfather in all this? I mean, he just kept milking the cow and bringing the eggs in from the chicken house and plowing the fields and doing all the things of farming or whatever their career is, not really thinking, oh, well, before I die, I better get over there to Pennsylvania, or I better, see the world, or I don't know where I'm going exactly, except are we spoiled rotten?
No, I think no, you bring up a
Oh,
good point, Galen. Yeah,
yeah.
I think you're bringing up a really good point because and the way of life was different because you did mention your grandfather. Well,
Yes.
what was his bucket list? Would he have liked to gone on a vacation? I know I had a grandfather who ran a dairy farm,
Mm-hmm.
and in order for him to get a day off, which I don't think he did, he would have to get other farmers or relatives in the area to come over and milk the cows, whether it was for a morning or an evening.
Mm-hmm.
Get the feed, clean up the stalls, whatever it is that you had to do. It's very, very difficult. And so they had to work. I really highly doubt that they had bucket lists. But
No.
like you said, are we spoiled rotten in today's society? Are we shaped and conformed because of, hey, they're doing it, so I got to do it? Or I'm jealous because you get to do
Yes.
this. You're going down to Jamaica, and me, I'm stuck up here in New York where it's 20,000 inches of snow lately.
Yeah.
I can't get out of here. I got work to do too.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
what is it? Why is there so much emphasis on a bucket list?
And at the same time, not to be a downer, because that maybe could be seen as a little bit of a down thing right there. But the upper of that is, isn't it fun to think and plan and kind of imagine? I imagine myself in these situations as we wrote our own bucket list here, you and I today. I'm in a great place in a way of thinking, wow, not only do I want to do these, there's some people I want to do things with, and it's possible. It's not just like a pipe dream way, way out there as I sit here and milk the cow or bring in the eggs from the hen house. It is a real thing that could really happen. And some of them probably will. I don't even know how they wouldn't almost. It's awesome.
It
Yeah,
really is. It's a drive too.
yeah,
It's an
drive.
incentive. It's like an
Mhm.
incentive, especially, retirement. When those retirement days come around, I mean, are you going to have the time to do it? Probably, but are you going to have the money to do it? Who knows? Or vice versa, because
Yeah.
that's that age old conflict, time and money.
Yes. Yep. Where
Yep.
do they meet? Oh, I love it.
Yeah. Well,
But
I wrote down a couple of bucket list
let's
things.
do it.
You
Let's
know,
hear it.
we could probably just run through a couple of ideas. Could probably make this a short podcast and
Yes.
see if they match up with other people. I did ask a couple of people that I've run into along the way. You know, the bottom line is basically what we had discussed earlier about getting things done or wanting to do things before they die. That's their
Mm,
definitions. And most of it involves traveling. You know, what if you wanted to paint a picture or just do something creative? Get on America's Got Talent.
yeah.
I do know that why I've already done one of my bucket lists, although I didn't know it was a bucket list at the time. I worked at Walt Disney World years
Oh,
ago, back in
yes.
1990.
Yes.
And I didn't realize it was a bucket list, but I'll tell you what, that has catapulted me to other platforms because one of the name, two, I was a character, and I enjoyed it. The magic that the Magic Kingdom has, it's incredible.
Hmm.
So I guess for those people who are Walt Disney fanatics, they'll go there, they'll go there, they'll go there to visit. Why not go get on the other side of it?
Yeah.
It's really a fun thing to do.
Get behind the scenes. See what
Yeah.
happens. I don't want to scare little kids that might be listening, so I'm not going to tell them all the things I already know about that.
Oh, exactly.
And,
Oh,
and
yeah.
I'm really joking, but it just takes a whole show every day, all day, in that kind of setting. I mean, you're on stage, man, and when you're off stage, it breaks
You're
down to
still on
being,
stage.
yeah. Well, there you go, and
Yeah,
it breaks down to you being a human still. Underneath that mask is a real guy that
yeah,
is, yeah, going to do a podcast 40 years later.
amazing.
Thank you for joining me.
Well, part of that experience came through me being in college, which, you know,
Hmm.
which was definitely a stepping stone for me. But because of
Hmm.
that, at this day in my life, I have to travel to five more states. No, let me rephrase that. I don't have to travel. I want to travel to five more states, and that will let me be in all 50 states. And that to me is my true bucket list. I want this accomplishment. This is
This is
a
one of
true
the
bucket
ones.
list.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a true bucket list. Now, some of the other ones, maybe a little far-fetched, but there was something of a desire to want to do. But this particular one is, I've had this goal. I remember when I was traveling with some of the school functions, you know, the school groups from college, and I would
Hmm.
send a postcard back to my mother usually, and I would send a state postcard from the states that I was in.
Yeah.
I don't know how many I actually got to her at the time. I don't recall, and I had seen them since, but it was neat. It was just something that was just kind of fun to do. But since then, now I'm down to 45 states that I have been in, and I
Huh.
don't mean just driving through. I've actually been in, you know, I don't know what the time limit is, maybe an hour
Yeah.
minimal, but more than, you know, more than a day.
Yeah.
And so
That's
I'm down to
good.
five more.
That's great. Well, and that could be ones that you and I have duplicate because I definitely have visit all 50 states as well. And I set a goal in my junior year of high school, and I didn't even really realize, I don't think that I was doing it or how serious I was, but it was to travel the United States, take a summer and travel the United States or a period of time. And within 2 years, 3 years, 2 or 3, yeah, 3 years, let's say, after I wrote that, there I was traveling for a college, and we did 35 states in 73 days. So
Wow.
which was a lot of moving. I mean, you are moving every one of those states. I mean, we spent at least one day in. Some of them we spent, more. Yeah, 35 states in 73 days. Oh, man, that was a lot of travel. But even with that
Yeah.
being said, I still have 14 left.
And, but that's doable.
It
I
is
mean,
doable.
if you
It
have
is
the
doable.
time and
Yep. And
it's
and
very
quite a bit
doable.
of it's up there in the Northeast, so on my bucket list as well is visit Lansingburg, New York. And I only have that on there because of you being in that area. So,
There you go.
once I get to see Daryl, then I get the mayor and or whatever ends up happening those days. I don't know.
That's
But
funny.
while I'm in that neighborhood, I mean, there's Maine, New Hampshire, Vermont, Massachusetts, Connecticut, quite a few of the ones that I haven't hit yet.
That's
Yeah.
neat.
Yep.
I mean, it's really neat, and the reasons why you want to do it.
Yep.
I'll just go down my list. I mean,
Oh,
we'll
okay.
just alternate. We might as well just alternate. We'll share a little
Sure.
bit on each. But my second one is kind of tied in with my fourth one. I want to go visit a safari, whether in Australia or Africa. I mean, I went down to,
It's not one of the Sea World.
no, it's not SeaWorld, but it's in the air, like Busch Gardens, Busch
Oh,
Gardens.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
But we went there and we went and saw some of the wild animals, and it was fascinating to me. And that kind of goes along with, two places to maybe go to a safari, whether in Australia or Africa. So I would kind of tie them together.
Mm-hmm.
So there, more
Good
animals
stuff.
involved.
More animals, more travel. That is a big thing on bucket lists that, people that I've talked to are seeing. I have one write and publish either like a memoir or a list of short stories, which I have some of those already set up, and some of them, it's pretty much just like 1,000 word little story or less on the number of words. And then, you get 10 or 15, 30 of those, whatever, and that becomes a little publishable. Is that a word? Publishable?
It is now.
It is now. That's one I put on mine, and I've got, like I said, I've got quite a bit of stuff written. I just don't have editing and full on direction of getting it published. I do have like 3 or 4 people's names and numbers that have done that kind of thing, and one guy that is a professional editor, and I do have some resources there. You never know. Stay tuned. It may turn out to be just a script for a podcast, and then people get all my stories and stuff right here in podcast land with Mr. Darrell.
Yay.
Yay!
Uh, the third one, big game hunt. I have it in the States, maybe on like the Northwest or mid Northwest or even the Midwest, to hunt some type of animal in another state, probably, bigger deer, elk, moose, whatever, something of that nature. But to be, have a guide, spend a lot of money for a lot of time away and just wing it, be in the God's country.
Oh, good stuff. So it sounds like maybe we're getting into the idea of you coming to the West, where we have real size animals, not just little like
Wait a
yard
minute, that's
dogs.
to be funny. Yes, I'm coming to the West and you're coming to the East to visit Lansingburg. We ought to schedule it at the same time.
Yeah, two guys, two
Gosh,
states. They're in the wrong
you
state, but they're there.
you go to you right. I'll
Oh,
go west, you go east.
oh man.
We'll end up back in Chicago.
Well, you know what a Kansas moose is? To you and I, it's just a horse.
Oh
Sorry.
gosh.
Oh, I don't even know. I just made that up in the moment.
Oh
Oh,
my.
I cracked me up. Anyway,
Yes. It's
yeah,
what do they call it? A a hare or something? A jackal? No, a
jackalope.
jackalope. Yes.
We actually have those out here.
Yes, I know.
You've been to the
Yes.
West before, and our high school mascot is Jack Rabbit.
Yeah.
And South Dakota State actually too is Jack Rabbit. So there's
And your favorite word is Jack
Jack
Wagon.
Rabbit. Oh, Jack Wagon. That's right. Uh,
All right, your turn.
well, I'm in a lump. I'm lumping because once you go to Lansingburg, most likely we would tour Washington, D.C. We may even ride a train to get out there. Maybe not. 98% sure that we would do a Niagara Falls visit. That knocks off a few. And there's a couple more even on my list that we would maybe do there as well as anywhere. Something like a ride in a hot air balloon. There's things like that. And obviously it'd get back to all my states or half my states that I still need to get to. So
Yeah,
yeah.
that's neat.
Yep.
That's neat. Yeah, what you could do with that, you could actually combine the ones, like you said, it's traveling,
Yeah.
you're going through different states, you're seeing different things, like you mentioned Niagara Falls. I have down very similar. I want to see some of the wonders of New York State, of the United States, based on the Mount Rushmore, the Grand Canyon. Those are two. I have been to Niagara Falls a couple of times. It's only 5 hours away.
Mm-hmm.
So I could combine that with, another one of my bucket lists coming up. I know a lot of people want to travel outside of the United States, or if they're local here, they want to go travel and see Greece and Spain and
Hmm.
Paris and Italy and, do all the different things that they have as like they're known for.
Yeah. Yeah.
Foreigners that come over and just everybody's waiting for your money.
Yes, they are. Oh
So
man.
this last one I could combine because I want to see the wonders of. I put the United States because I've never been out of the country. I don't know if I ever will be. I don't know if I can be, but if I was, I have to get a passport.
Hmm.
That should be a bucket list. Get a passport.
Ah,
But for the most part, I would love to go see Mount Rushmore and the Grand Canyon. Those are two.
yeah. I think an important one for you is if you left the country, would we let you back? And
All right,
that's
it's
where
your
you
turn.
oh, come on. I need to get at least one good dig in on you per podcast.
Yeah.
I had a couple that are relatable to each other, relate to each other, and then are hopefully relatable to people. But what's something you can do with maybe your children, or in your case, your grandchildren? Like my son is a stage performer. I mean, he's in plays and music and all kinds of stuff. Is there a comedy routine that he and I could do? And we've done a little bit of this in group setting, but is there something just he and I could do? And that would lead to one of my other on the list is just the confidence. Performance ready, like you go out and you hit it. You hit every mark, you hit every note, everything's perfect for performance level. Not that I'm going to the Kennedy Center, but
Oh,
oh my gosh. But you know what? People are wanting live music, live things that, there's entertainment value there, and I know you're doing a bunch of it. So it's good stuff.
yeah,
Yep.
actually,
Yeah.
that's a good segue too, based on my next bucket list. The next one that I have in order is sporting events, whether it's Super Bowl or World Series. Now, the chances of me really, really going to one of these is probably not very high because of the prices of a ticket. I mean, if I'm not really a big basketball fan, but I love
Mhm.
baseball and football, and I'm really up for competition, when competing in sports, I love it. But I wouldn't be against going to something. I think it would be a great adventure to be a part of a Super Bowl or even one game of a World Series or even a playoff game. I think it would be pretty spectacular.
Yes, I do too. I'd go with you. So then what if that's in one of the states where you haven't been yet and they have big game like a Kansas Moose or something?
Kansas, Jackalope in Washington State.
Ah, that's just a
Oh
Shetland
gosh.
pony. Nope, it's a Kansas Moose. Okay, sorry, I'm just working that joke to death.
Yes, you are.
Beating it like a dead horse.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah, you're working it to death. You know what? Maybe if you catch on, they'll have new see-through coffins, made of glass, you know. But you know what? I don't think anybody will have a market on it, but it remains to be seen.
Oh no.
Okay,
Oh,
moving right
I
along.
can't believe
I had
that
to throw
just
that in.
happened.
I can't believe that just happened. We're just filling up time.
I don't think I
All
have
right, your
anything
turn.
exciting. Well, I don't have anything too exciting left on my list. I have some
Well, it's
ideas. One is along with the writing and publishing something about myself would be to interview a nationally known author. Somebody that really has done the work. We all know their name and number and their, whatever. We've read, a couple of their books or a movie that's been made based on their books or whatever. I'd love it. I'd love a 30-minute window or an hour with, one of them. And yeah, just life. I don't want to be too starstruck. Notice I haven't put any famous actors, actresses, or even politicians. But if it was somebody that was a legitimate author that had really done, some good literature, I would love just to pick their brain and just talk through their life a little bit and maybe share mine even.
that's a desire that you have. So,
Yeah,
you would put it on a list and say, hey, this is could be a goal. It could be a bucket list. We don't want you to kick the bucket.
that's
Um,
right.
so so another one that could have tied in with some of the other things that you have already mentioned about, visiting friends or traveling with people. I think you did mention that. I want to camp while traveling. I have it
Ooh.
listed like this as camp while traveling states, but want more people. I don't want it to be just myself or, I want to have a group. I would love to or
Yes.
have a goal like we're gonna trek our way out there. out to the west. Things like that.
Or people you may know, hey, we're going to be in Iowa at a campground for 3 days. People within 50 miles that we know, or 100, or maybe we're going to be there a couple weeks. Drop by.
Well,
So,
I actually had that happen with somebody we know that lived in Harmony House when my sister and I went out to North Dakota to visit her daughter, my niece, and we, on the way back, made a phone call to somebody that lived in Harmony House, and he was offering, he wasn't there at the time because he was
oh,
away with a group of something with young actors because he was still in the theater realm.
yeah,
But he's like, if you need a place to stay on the way through, please, because we were going through Iowa, and it was really neat because he was willing, but he wasn't there. If he had been there at the time, we probably would have stopped.
yep,
But anyway, like you said, that's a perfect example, and we probably could have done it. It just didn't work out that weekend. Camping along the way or doing something different like that is, you just never know what you see during your travels.
yep.
And the United States does have a lot to offer.
Oh man. One of my grandparents said, hey, I have no business traveling the world until I'm fully exhausted traveling our country. There's just so much to see and do. And especially Alaska and Hawaii, they're probably on your list of states to see still. I mean, to go to those, that would just be a wow. I mean, each of those could be their own week or two or more, just because of how diverse they are compared to, all the Midwest or the Northeast or Northwest or any. I mean,
Sure.
Alaska's just not even the same. I mean, it's not even like anywhere else because it's just out there. And Hawaii the same way. So, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Well, my
Well, hey.
next one,
Oh, you're still going? I already kicked
well,
the bucket.
we kind of, you kick, you kick the bucket.
I already kicked the bucket. You're still
We already
going.
kicked the
Oh my gosh.
All right, I'll just run through mine really quick. We
Yes.
were gonna have 10. I combined a couple of them up there, and some of these could overlap. Maybe during the planning, even if you were traveling and you say, "Hey, I'm gonna stop in this state and get a ticket for a basketball game with some big
Yeah.
name player on it or something." But my this one here, I really want to be a reality, and I would really have to work hard at it. Is I want to be a cartoon. Anybody that knows
Oh,
me knows I do puppets. This is bigger than just being a puppet. I actually want to have a cartoon, and I just don't know how to go about starting. But it is a bucket list, or really, this is a heart's desire.
yeah.
So maybe I should have had this one number one, right next to traveling to 5 more states, because I only need 5 more. And you were right. My last two, again, it's traveling. This one, I didn't realize I would have so much traveling. Alaskan cruise. I want to go on an
Ah,
Alaskan cruise,
yep.
and just because I want to see Alaska. And
Hmm.
here I am. I'm I keep claiming there's so much snow here. I don't want to go to any more cold states. I want to go warm. I don't know. Maybe I would like a desire to leave the country and go see some of these sites. I know some people around me have been out of the country over in Europe and all these kinds of things. It's
Yeah.
just, and the last one is kind of close where you can kind of see. I want to see the Northern Lights.
Ooh.
I want to see them up close and personal. I would just be in awe. Have you ever just
Yeah.
laid down in a summer night and look at the stars and you just see beyond?
Oh.
It's fascinating
It's
to me.
it really is, and I love it too. I really do. I had a guy telling me today of the blood moon, and he woke up at 3 in the morning today. He goes, it was just kind of hazy red. It wasn't red like sometimes you'll see, but it was just kind of a hazy red out here in the west. And I just didn't really want to wake up at 3 in the morning.
Well, I
Plus, I'd
saw it
forgotten
this
about
morning.
it.
Was it I saw the moon last night. We saw it here.
Yeah.
It was fascinating. The alignment of the planets being in a row. There were 6 of them.
Wow.
And but we didn't see them because of the cloudiness. We're
Yeah.
always getting snowed on, it seems like this winter. I also know the next day it was clear skies, and we did see some bright. Now I don't have a telescope, but we did see some bright, light up there, which I kind of guessed maybe they were planets, but they weren't in a row.
Yeah.
They have
Yeah.
moved since in that 24 hours. So that's it. I mean, I'm sure if we sat down or asked other people, we would have people coming up with all, bungee jumping, jumping out of airplanes, deep sea
Yeah.
diving. Deep sea diving is something I would like to do too.
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
wouldn't. Yeah.
the sky's the limit. No
The
pun intended.
sky's the limit. So would you jump out of a plane?
I don't think I would.
I don't think I would either. So maybe
I
the
wouldn't.
sky isn't quite the limit, but
Well,
just
that's where you'd
believe.
have to jump from.
Yeah. Ah.
So,
Well, hey, well, I love this. I love where we went, and we did half of them in our head. So, man, all of mine are checked off already.
yeah, I know.
Oh,
It's like, oh my
my.
gosh, my bucket list ended. Does that mean I'm going to kick the bucket?
Yep,
Well, until the next time, I guess.
that's
You know,
right. Don't forget, you are amazing.